Hello and welcome back to A Foreigner and Family in the Philippines. And it's been a little while since I made a video there. We have that issue I think that I had laid out there with the road, the neighbors putting up the no trespassing sign. I guess, and we're in the process of, it's going to be a lengthy process getting that cleared up, but it looks like we have use of the road for now, so that's good. And it's not an official, turns out it's the neighbor's private road. It's not a barangay road, but that's not what I'm here to mention. I'm actually doing a corn update video, and we have, so this is the corn. It's 4 months later from when we had planted it, and it turned out well. I mean, it looks good. This has all been harvested here, so that you don't see the where you see the stalks, but the corn tops are gone. And we'll go take a look at some of that in a little bit. But we've pulled out quite a bit of corn here, and it's true. You see some of the, got some bananas over there, and I had cut these down because I do plan on planting some bananas, but this is not the area that I was looking to do that. So we had cut all these down, and it's kind of funny to see them. They sprout back up, and I even came back through, cut them a couple more times, and they still just sprout up. And some of these other smaller trees here that made it, they just survived the corn. And we kind of went around those. So I think some of those are coffee, and there are some mahoganies. But these are the sacks of corn, and we ended up with a pretty good amount of them. I'm gonna take a video of that here in a second. Oh, and this is the neighbor's rice field here. And their caretaker, Juan, planted all that rice. He's the same person that planted all our rice. It basically looks the same as it does over here, as over on the side. But that is the neighbor's rice. And we have folks over here harvesting the corn. So we're taking through. We come through with the scale and weigh the sacks. And apparently the going rate for harvesters is 60 centavos per kilo, which would be like a centavo would be like a cent in the U.S. And it's 60 centavos per kilo. And each one of these bags, these are the smaller sacks, they're about 40 kilos. And then we have the larger sacks, which are about, when they're full, they're about 60 kilos. Yeah, and the corn did well. I've seen it, a lot of the corn around here has done well, but someone who had planted a lot recently, I guess it was flowering during a dry spell, and the corn cobs did not produce very well. So I'm going to pause it here and take a look at another area. And this is the back side of the corn here, and this is actually one of my favorite areas. We did a couple banana videos over here. I like it. It's nice, especially now that you have this. We've had some rains here, and you've got this rice field. And this is actually, it extends around the side here, and this is actually our rice that our neighbor Juan had planted. And it actually just looks really good back here. And these bananas were so overgrown, I actually came back here with the backpack sprayer, and you pull the pump with the one side and spray it with the other hand. And I just wasn't used to that type of backpack sprayer, I guess, and I did a kind of a bad job with the sprayer. It wasn't even, but we just came back here and did a hand weed. It looks really good. I need to come through here because there's too many banana trees. Take off some of these suckers that come off the root system and then replant them in other areas. We had some we had planted. It looks like some of them didn't survive over here because we were trying to get some more, but I don't even know if this is going to be the area where I do the bananas. And that's how they come out when they're starting. And that red thing on the bottom is a banana heart. You usually cut that off. I can't reach it right now, but this is one where the banana heart has already been cut off. And folks are typically now folks that are growing bananas, and I plan on getting into it as some time goes on, but I haven't gotten kind of situated yet. But we'll get the blue baggies, because you bag them. It makes the peel look, I guess it protects them from some sort of maybe fungus growth, or the peel gets a little moldy. It keeps the peel looking pretty. That's a Lanzoni tree up there. I don't know if you can see any of the Lanzonis, or this wind may be kicking up and I probably can't even hear me, but yeah, some of these bananas, I guess the weeds were so overgrown and they just didn't make it. So we gotta replant some more back here. But they seem to grow pretty good back here because I'm not fertilizing them, and the bunches keep coming. And although it's just a nice, comfortable area on the backside of this hill. And I came over to the other side, which is this is the Dick area, and this is the side up there that the squatter was previously living, and I didn't know. They call him Dick, and I thought that's because he was. I didn't know that was his actual name, but that's his actual name. So, but this is where the corn was, and we harvested this the day before yesterday, and yesterday they were pulling the sacks out. And it's kind of funny because all of these bananas, I had come through and cut these like 3 times because I was thinking they were going to drown out the corn, but they all came right back. Seems like the stalks are a little skinnier because they were growing in between the corn, but it's just funny to see them all back here and growing. And I believe these are all Lackaton bananas, which are what I wanted to plant anyway. I don't know that this is going to be the banana area, but it's cool that these came back like this. And one thing I did that I do kind of regret doing is I cut this durian tree. It was a mature durian tree, and I didn't realize the value of the durians. The durians are an expensive fruit, but it looks like it might possibly rebound if I just leave that alone. I don't know how it'll turn out, or if I even want to leave that there now that we have cut it down. But we did get a pretty fair amount of corn out of this little area, because the entire thing, this little fence that we had put that up fairly recently, but there's a creek that runs behind it. So you see the border around there has quite a few coffee trees. I believe that one is actually a Lanzoni there. And I'm going to make my way back to where we put all the corn. And I am making my way back over to where we stored the corn, but it's right here. We'd actually cut down 2 mahogany trees to get some wood for this storage area for the corn. And the storage area then turned into, we're building like a small hut home. So we needed some of that lumber, and we used that for the mahogany. However, this mahogany actually fell down over here. It knocked over some, I forget what these are called. It's some kind of, but it's rot. Whatever that tree is, it was rotted, and the mahogany fell on it and knocked it over onto my cacao tree. You can see some of the cacao pods there. It's not a healthy cacao tree to begin with, but oh well, we got some wood for the hut home that we'll be working on. And this is actually actually right over there is where the squatter hut was previously. Tick tick. And there are a lot of bananas over here too, and they grow surprisingly well with some big bunches, even though it's pretty shaded back here because there are a lot of rubber trees. There's some red lava on and some and a couple of mahogany with some santals and even a couple of lanzonis. But I am making my way back over to the corn because I want to show you guys how much corn came out of there. Okay, so I'm up here at the corn. It's kind of windy. I'm going to try and huddle down to keep from getting too much wind there. This is my son Spartacus. Say hello, Spartacus. All right, and like I said, it's pretty windy, so I'm just going to back up and show this real quick. This is the corn here, and it's 2 sacks side by side all the way down, and then we've got this over here and that over here. This is the majority of it, although there are still a lot of sacks on that area where I first started filming that have not been picked up yet. There's still quite a few over there. So, and that's our hut home that we're working on. That is the that's the roofing material. Right now it's there, it's temporary. The man who is working on the window jambs, he's got to plane it all by hand. It's going to take him 6 days to do that for the door jambs and the windows. So he's actually working on that right now. We left those particular boards at his place. So, but this is temporary just to keep it from getting wet inside. And yeah, that's where we're going to live. We have a little extension coming off the side. Still, so it's a work in progress. And oh, as far as the corn goes now, there are the corn sheller comes, and he brings his corn shelling machine. They dump the corn into buckets. The buckets get put in the machine, and it separates it from the cob and takes the kernels off. And so then it's just in the kernel form, and that's called shelling the corn. And the price on that is the going rate for that right now is anywhere from 3.5 pesos per kilo to 4 pesos per kilo, and we're actually being charged 4 pesos per kilo on that. So that'll be interesting to see. Then we've got these tarps here, and once it's shelled, it's laid out on these tarps. It takes about 2 or 3 days. These are rolled out. They'll be long strips, and then it is dried at that point, 2 or 3 days. So that's it for now. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.